Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Dorian Show. The world is on fire right now, especially if you're in a war-torn country like Ukraine or basically anywhere in the Middle East. It's fucking a shit show right now, and it sucks. And also, if you're in Europe, you'll probably be freezing this winter because there's not enough natural gas going over there because Russia is not happy with how the rest of Europe and the United States is acting towards them. So there's that. But everything's fine. Everything's fine in the United States because we have the McDonald's Happy Meal for adults. You know, like I don't know when a big juicy Big Mac was no longer enough for us that they need to scheme and give us some toys. It's because all the grown-ass men like to collect stuff these days. They need to give us toys, give us a designer box by Cactus Flea Market. I mean, I never heard of them, but I guess they're a hype beast kind of thing. But that's just the U.S. That's the U.S. adult Happy Meal. In other countries, the adult Happy Meal is kind of redundant because usually a Happy Meal for most places is food on the table. You know what I mean? Like some countries, like in North Korea, you could have like half a rat on a slab of rocks, and that would be a Happy Meal for them. But not in the U.S. We want our burgers, and we want it to be special. We want gimmicks, but that's part of the beauty of living in the United States. You guys hear about what Brett Favre, American hero, was in one of my favorite movies. There's Something About Mary. You guys hear about this guy, hero to millions and millions and millions of Americans. Football lovers decided to steal from the welfare state of Mississippi, which I'm pretty sure is probably the poorest state in the country, if I'm not wrong, and use that money to fund his own investments in some pharmaceutical company and to build his daughter a volleyball court in college. That is why they say do not meet your heroes. And that's why I'm never going to meet Draymond Green, who is my hero right now. And over the past week or so, I forgot how long ago, it might have been 2 weeks now, Draymond Green punched a teammate out during practice, Jordan Poole, and just knocked his ass out. But it's fine. I mean, he didn't get suspended or anything. They fined him a little bit. They gave Jordan Poole $123 million and to put all that under the rug, and it's fine. It's fine. I'll get punched in the face for $123 million. I'm gonna take a sip of this Coke here, Coke Zero. Anyway, let's jump into Brett Favre, shall we? This is from Forbes magazine, guys. Former Green Bay Packers quarterback and Hall of Famer Brett Favre has been accused of using his special access to former Mississippi Governor Phil Bryant and other officials in his home state in order to influence roughly $8 million in welfare payments for himself, pharmaceutical company Prevacus, and a volleyball court for University of Southern Mississippi, according to an expose published last week. Mississippi Today. Oh, who reads that? Though Favre has not been charged criminally or accused of a crime. What do we have here? Between 2016 and 2018, the nonprofit Mississippi Community Education Center doled out $5 million allegedly at Favre's request to the University of Southern Mississippi, where Favre attended and where his daughter also attended and played volleyball, to pay for a new volleyball court, according to Mississippi Today. The nonprofit also paid him $1 million to promote a program called Families First. The funds mostly came from federal welfare grant program administered by the Mississippi Department of Human Services, and both the head of the nonprofit and the former head of the Human Services have been charged with and pleaded not guilty to embezzlement and fraud for the roles in the scheme. Prevacus, a pharmaceutical company that was working on a concussion treatment in which Favre was a top investor and also alleged received $2.15 million in allegedly stolen funds from the scheme, according to Mississippi Today. I mean, oh boy, Brett Favre, what an asshole, huh? This is why you guys shouldn't have heroes, because everybody's just kind of a piece of shit. You know, they all just go and look out for themselves. Okay, like Brett Favre, I don't know how many millions and millions of dollars he's earned in his career, and I'm sure it's a lot. But like, just squeeze out 8 million from Mississippi welfare fund to help fund his investments in some pharmaceutical company, and to build his daughter a volleyball court at college. Fuck, that's insane. But also, he should be going to jail, right? He should definitely be going to jail, right? I don't know why there's nothing been charged him. Remember, you guys remember the Full House lady who got sent to jail because she paid money? She bribed her way into her daughter into USC, and she had to do a year in jail. I mean, let that woman go. Let her go and let her earn her money back at Full House. Full House sequel where there's no Olsen twins or no. Oh my gosh, I forgot his name. The guy's just passed away. Rest in peace. Anyway, so yeah, let her go make her money. Go in a reality TV show. But Brett Favre should be in jail, right? He just stole $8 million from the poorest state in the United States to fund his own lifestyle. That's insane. I think we should put him in jail, but also maybe we'll make it easy for him. Maybe we should put him in jail and start a prison football team where he could be a quarterback. And then we could broadcast this and have prisoners play for their freedom, because that's where we're at, you know, right about now. You know, we had criminals already fighting fires in California back in the days when, what's her name? Kamala Harris was was working as a DA in San Francisco. That's what we did. We just had prisoners fight fire for us. You know, we still got marijuana. People with marijuana felonies are still in jail. I think Joe Biden said he's gonna free them or expunge their record, but they're still in jail. So why not? Why not just put Brett Favre in prison and have a prison football games, and we could broadcast it on ESPN4, or we could have it on Netflix or Amazon Plus or whatever streaming services out there, so we can watch and enjoy and see what it's like to be in prison. I don't know what's going on here, guys. It's already a terrible situation out there. You know, we are at record inflation. Money's going up 9% a year. The inflation is at 9% right now. I mean, it's crazy. People are going to start to lose jobs. Housing is so expensive. Mortgage rates are at 7%, making it almost impossible to buy any homes out there. Rent continues to go up, especially in California. It just sucks. Everything sucks. Everything's about to pop, by the way. You know what I mean? Pretty soon, I mean, housing prices already started coming down, but it's going to keep coming down in a snowball effect. A lot of people are probably going to lose their jobs. They're going to lose their homes. Housing prices are going to crash. And maybe rent will come down. I don't know. I'm not an economist or anything. But in the meantime, we could still YOLO. You know, we could YOLO and make money while the world is burning down. I've been hearing a lot of these crazy stocks. What do you call these stocks? Index funds, ETFs going on. It's basically like the meme culture gone like crazy. You know, like they have a inverse Cathie Woods ETF. Basically you're betting against Cathie Woods, saying that her picks are dumb, and whatever she buys, you're going to short. And people are making a lot of money on that recently. I mean, Cathie Wood has been making a ton of money for like 15 years, like from 2015 to 2020, like 800% return. But now people are against her, right? She was the hero before. But now people think she's a terrible investor, and they want to be able to bet against her, and that's what they did with these inverse funds. But it just doesn't stop there. Like we have inverse funds for everything. We have inverse funds for Jim Cramer, the CNBC reality TV personality, giving out financial advice there. It's not officially financial advice. Like there's an inverse fund coming for him soon. Everything that he recommends on the television, you could short. It's just a great time to be alive, if you ask me. I mean, shoot. It's like it's kind of weird being in the U.S. It's like recession's coming. Like we all know it's coming. We all know inflation's out of control, but we're just like pretending like it doesn't matter, like nothing matters, and we're just gambling with our money and still trying to get rich and living as if like tomorrow's not going to be hell for all of us when everything crashes. But yeah, to whatever, just invest in everything, whatever money you guys have. It doesn't matter anyways. With inflation being so high, it's going to chip at your earnings. The value of your money is going to be down. So just gamble it, and have a chance being rich. And when you become rich, you could go take that money and go and spend it in like third world countries such as Canada and all these other European countries, which, believe it or not, they're going to be basically third world countries pretty soon. Okay, because the U.S. dollar is strengthening against all the other currencies out there. So even though we're having inflation here, we could take our currency here and go to other countries and be big ballers. Okay, you ever wanted to go Canada and just buy maple syrup, or go to Spain and buy, I don't know, cow testicles, or Italy buy some leather shoes? This might be a good time to do it. I mean, because the whole world decided to trust in the United States and use the U.S. dollar as the backup currency. So while we're screwing us up, we're really screwing up the rest of the world. And it's fine. It just makes everything cheaper there. And you guys could go there and, go to a third world country and eat all their food in their buffets. Just eat all their food while people are hungry in the streets. That's what Americans do. Unfortunately, what else? Oh yeah, these ETFs also have ETFs following Nancy Pelosi and Ted Cruz. For you guys that don't know out there, a lot of these Congress members are using their insiders. These senators, Congress members are using their inside information about laws that they're about to pass and budgets that they're about to pass. They know ahead of time of what companies would benefit them, and they would, front load or front run these companies so they can earn just huge fees. And guess what? That's how cynical the U.S. is. Like, we know they're not going to. They keep talking about banning stock trading for people in government, but the truth is, people know that it's never going to stop. So instead, we're like, just let us follow you. Just let us buy whatever you're going to buy. Give us an ETF. So those are coming soon too. You could buy into an ETF that basically tracks whatever Nancy Pelosi buys, and they will give you the same picks as her, and maybe you'll become rich, or maybe not. It doesn't matter. Whatever to get an edge, right? So we can make a lot of money really fast while the rest of the world is in decay. And I mean, so is America. I mean, it fucking sucks out there, man. Everything's so expensive. Health insurance is so freaking expensive. Why in health insurance? I was picking up my health insurance the other day, and I was looking at like the premiums. The premiums for what my job offers. Why am I paying over $700 a month? Why is the plan paying over $700 a month to give me health insurance? I mean, I get it. I'm kind of fat, but geez, I'm pretty healthy. You know what I mean? Like, I could use that $700 for a lot of other things. You know what I mean? I could go on vacation. I could save it. I could invest it. I could go buy some Happy Meals, adult Happy Meals from McDonald's, and collect all the... What do you mean? All the cactus flea market merch? But no, I had to pay $700 a month so I could just go get lab work done once every 6 months. Which I'm pretty sure if I ordered separately, it's like $200. But that's where we're at. Medical care is insanely high. Gas prices is insanely high. Housing prices insane. Everything's up. Inflation is up, and the government thinks the only way to solve this situation is to give out more money because that's what's going to work, right? When everything's expensive, to give you more money because that'll make things less expensive. I come to finally realize that people that are in politics are pretty dumb. Like, no one out there is really for the people. Maybe Bernie Sanders, but even him, I'm not sure. You know what I mean? Like, Bernie has a couple houses, got books, but he's not rich. He's been fighting for the same stuff over and over again. I mean, I might not believe in what he stands for. A lot of this stuff is fucking crazy. You know what I mean? Like, nationalizing everything, you know, taxing the crap out of everybody. But at least this guy, like, at least he believes in what he says. And at least he wants to help, right? But all these other politicians, they just want to get your vote. You know what I mean? Gavin Newsom's like, oh, gas is $7 a gallon. Here, let me give you $250 to help ease it. It doesn't ease anything. It just makes gas more expensive for everyone. You know what I mean? You want to lower gas prices? Let it go out of control. Let it go to like $100, $20 a gallon. And guess what? People will stop buying gas. And that's when gas will fall. All right? Or let them drill. I don't know. Or give out free Teslas. Maybe that's the solution. I don't know. Not a doctor. But yeah, what was I talking about earlier? Yeah, inflation is terrible. And everyone is kind of just blaming everyone. You know what I mean? Like, people are just blaming rich people, blaming poor people, blaming the homeless, blaming politicians, blaming landlords. Oh, wait, this is what I want to talk about. This crazy guy, Dr. Thrasher. Oh boy. Oh, who's this guy? Just take a look. I was reading this tweet by this guy, Dr. Thrasher, who's I'm pretty sure he's just insane and doesn't really know exactly what he's talking about. Let's see. Who's this guy? Dr. Thrasher. He looks like he wrote the book The Viral Underclass. Oh, okay. All right. Let me look up what he said about the landlords. Bear with me here. I don't have. This is what he says, okay? There's no reason any landlord with a fixed rate mortgage should ever increase tenants' rent. Ever. You invest in a property, you pay upkeep, you are renting a property at a profit while it increases in value. You pay what it costs. You are the grotesque snake if you pass on maintenance costs of something you own to people with flat wages who already pay your damn mortgage. An investment is not a one-way meal ticket to guarantee wage theft value extraction from a serf. There are risks and reward. If you pass on these risks, beyond already covering your fixed rate mortgage to people not making any investment, just trying to keep from homelessness, I don't know how you sleep at night. He continues, I can't believe there are landlords like taxes went up. There were maintenance costs. It's your investment property. There are costs. You sign up for this. Paying for your damn property while someone else toils paying your fixed mortgage is the least you can do. The boiler went out. The roof had to be repaired. It is your property. If a tenant punches in a wall, okay, let them pay. But a normal wear and tear and upkeep and maintenance, those are your costs, while someone else buy that property for you. I don't know what pissed me off about this tonight. I just realized most mortgages are fixed while rent goes up and up and up. Gas goes up, food goes up, wages stay flat. And landlords are shameless about giving this U.S. subsidized mortgage and passing all costs on the tenants who can't afford a fucking one-bedroom apartment on the minimum wage anywhere in the U.S. need to earn $155,000 to qualify for a one-bedroom in New York. So that's this guy, Dr. Thrasher here, who says landlords are terrible. He posted more yesterday. I'm going to keep reading this. I don't know who else is still on here, but guess what? I'm still going to read it. He said a very smart friend of mine is buying their first home and they just found out the mortgage tax deduction and they couldn't believe it. They thought it was a joke, and I was like, no, LOL. Renters subsidize your future mortgages. It's like the biggest expenditure of the U.S. government. They were like, but it's so unfair. Why should homeowners be able to deduct housing costs and not renters? And I was like, this is the reason of the U.S. ownership. This is capitalism. You have gravitational weight. This capital will now flow to you, which is kind of true. It's like the board game Monopoly. Acquire real estate and the ride quickly turns in your favor. The U.S. government exists to direct capital capture to concentrations of capital with sufficient gravity. Blah, blah, blah. Another lesson from Monopoly explains how home ownership as boring bullshit. So basically this guy, Dr. Thrasher here, you guys can look him up on Twitter. You guys want to follow him, and you guys, I guess a lot of people believe what he has to say. So basically he's saying, like, if you're a landlord, it's fucking evil for you to raise rents, right? Like, people should just pay your mortgage, and then whatever cost you incur, you should fix that. You shouldn't push that down to the tenants because they're paying for your mortgage and your property is going up, and you're more than likely have fixed mortgages. So you are basically a lord over their serfs, and you're using their income to pay for your stuff. So here's the thing. This guy is kind of out of his mind, okay? Everybody pushes down their cost to someone else. Guess what? When gas prices goes up, you think the farmers eat the cost. You think the producers of, I don't know, Doritos or your hamburgers, your McDonald's, like, you think McDonald's eat that cost? No, they don't. They pass that on to the consumer because it's a good that the consumer want, and they will consume it. And I'm not saying this is a bad thing or not, but guess what? Oh, being a landlord is not the easiest thing ever, okay? Like, I'm not a landlord, okay? But I've owned property and I considered renting it out. But I just thought about all the stuff, and it's not worth it. And the truth is, maintenance cost is cost. And most people that own something that rent it out, like, month by month, they're not even making that much money. And one maintenance issue, like, really knocks down all your profit. And for you to tell people not to profit is insane. Why would anyone buy property? You know what I mean? Like, sure, the property value will go up in the long term. I don't know. Allegedly, we're in a fucking downturn right now, Dr. Thrasher. What about now when people's housing is the price of homes are coming down, dude? Is this still endlessly going to go up? I don't know. But I mean, this is okay. So this is what I owned a condo about a year ago in a really bad neighborhood of Long Beach. Shout out LBC. Shout out the love of my life, the city I love, Long Beach. You know, I bought a 2-bedroom, 2-bath condo for $1,700, right? And I looked into, and I got 2 parking spaces, so it was a pretty sweet deal. And I was thinking about moving out of there because it was, a piece of shit home, honestly. And I was thinking about moving out. And I was like, okay, I could either sell this or I could rent it out. Okay, so I think the market around there, I could probably get $1,850 easy. Maybe even like $1,900, maybe $2,000, but I doubt it. The neighborhood was bad. I did have 2 parking spaces, but for like $2,000, someone might probably just rather live closer to the beach, right? Sure, they might not have a 2-bed, 2-bath, but they'll be in a nicer neighborhood. But fine, whatever. Let's just say I could. Let's just say I could rent it out for $1,850. Okay, so $1,850 divided by 1,700. So that's about 8%, 9%. You know what? Forget it. Let's say I could get it for. Let's say I could rent it out for $2,000, which I don't think I can, right? And my mortgage is $1,700, and that's including my mortgage, my HOA that always goes up every year. By the way, more HOAs always go up. HOAs never go down. All right, that's the cost of owning a condo or a townhome. You gotta pay HOA; those never ever go down. So let's say I pay $1,700 and I make I collect rent at $2,000. That's about what, $300 a month. $300 times 12 months, that's $3,600, right? A year in profit. And this is not including any like deductions, right? Any deductions from a rental property. And I get that's a little bit, but let's just, for the sake of doing math, that's $3,600 that I'm profiting, not including the deductibles and whatnot. But guess what? One plumbing issue will wipe that all out. How do I know this? Because I had plumbing issues when I first moved in. Okay, I had like my faucet, my kitchen faucet was leaking. The bathroom, I wanted to change out one of the handles. You know what that cost me? It cost me like $4,000. Yeah, just changing the freaking faucet, the faucet in the kitchen and one of the handles in the bathroom cost me close to $4,000. That's already wiped out my whole year of a profit, right? If I were to rent this out. And the truth is, people don't take care of your property. People are not likely to take care of your property as much as you would want them to, because they're renting and they're like, who cares if I fuck up the things? Like, you have to pay for it. I'm paying you rent. So of course I'm going to have to raise rent. Like, I'm not, guess what? If I don't make money, I lose the home. Like the thing is, like, if you have a mortgage, you're still paying the mortgage for 30 years. So if I'm losing money every year, why would I even want to rent it out? Because my property value might go up while my home just in the next 30 years just continues to, to break down. That's why they let you depreciate your assets, because like physical assets, like, they go bad. So what am I a terrible landlord if I raise rent? If I'm making I am making 17, if nothing goes wrong, I'm making a 17% 17% profit on my property, which you might think it's a lot, but the stock market generally returns 8%. And you don't need to deal with like, oh, I have plumbing issues. You don't have to deal with your tenants calling you and complaining, or them breaking your shit, or the neighbors complaining and whatnot. Like, there's just so many costs of being a landlord. That's why I didn't do it. It's not easy. This guy makes this seem like it's so easy to like just get property and rent it out and be a millionaire. And because if it was that easy, most people would do it. I'm not saying everybody could afford a home, but if you make good decisions, like, it's not too hard. I'm not in tech. I don't make money off this podcast. I was able to afford a condo. You know what I mean? And especially if you live in California, maybe you won't be able to afford to buy something here, but you could take your money here and go out there to Mississippi and buy a home next to Brett Favre. And you can rent that out for easy 17%, right? But it's never that easy. That's why I don't do it, because I'm like, that 17% is not worth it. And it's not even a guarantee I will make money through this transaction. Like, I don't even know, until this day, I don't even know if it's worth it to be a landlord. I'm sure it is if you know how to do it correctly, but it's not fucking easy. You know what I mean? And the rent prices being up is not because landlords are terrible people. The truth is, rents are going up because, I don't know about anywhere else, but in California it's because there's a lack of housing. There's a shortage of housing. I get it. California doesn't like density homes, meaning we don't like skyscrapers. We live in most places in California, like, they like single family homes. And I get it. Like, if I lived in a single family home, I do not want huge condos and apartments being near my home, because guess what? It does ruin the neighborhood. It brings in way too much foot traffic. Crime goes up. There's no parking. And it just really ruins a neighborhood where you like to enjoy and live in quiet. I understand that completely. But there's a bunch of land out here that no one is using, right? You drive on the highway from San Francisco to LA, which I've done multiple times because I got family back in north, and I work and live in LA, and there's just a bunch of land. Instead of building single family homes by the 5, just build like high rises, okay? Build high rises, or just retrofit all the freaking buildings in LA or San Francisco. Because downtown areas in LA and San Francisco right now is pretty much empty, right? And I guess, yeah, there's like regulations and stuff like that. But maybe, yeah, if there's an office building that's not being used, like, just tear it down. I think some people say it's cheaper to just tear it down and rebuild. Just do that. Tear it down, rebuild condos, rebuild apartments. And guess what? Prices will come down. But they don't do this because the cost of building is so expensive. So the people that building homes need to to like make to recuperate their costs and make a good amount of profit for them to want to do it. But before they even do that, the government needs to let them build homes. You know what I mean? There's just so many things. That the issue is not blaming on the landlords, right? Because there's a lot of issues to that. It's not just like fixing stuff. I've heard issues where you have to evict someone. It costs thousands of dollars to evict a tenant when you're only making like a couple $100 a month. It's not fucking worth it. And for people that do it, then yeah, it sucks that they have to raise rent, but also they need to pay for it, right? They take on all the risk of owning something, right? A renter could leave. It's harder for an owner to leave the house. If they sell it, they have to give money to a real estate agent. If they want to let someone else manage the property, that's another 6 to 8%. Like the margins of owning a home is so little until you pay off the home, and not a lot of people do it, especially like individual landlords that this sounds like this guy is going after. He's not going after, maybe he's going after BlackRock, but it sounds like he's going after all landlords. But yeah, maybe if you're BlackRock, you can make a killing if you're buying all these houses in cash and just no leverage. But for like the everyday owner, like the small landlord out there, like it's fucking rough, dude. It's not easy. I mean, I know I have friends and family that rent out, and you know what they usually do? They get a house, they live in one room or one unit of the apartment, and they rent the rest to someone else. And it's like, that in itself sucks. You don't want to share living spaces with people. It's terrible sharing living space with people for like $300 a month. I mean, I get it. Like I feel blessed that I don't need to be in the position where I need that extra $300, but it sucks. It sucks, dude. And you tell people like, oh, they can't earn money. They only could like make enough to cover their mortgage. That's insane. No one's gonna want to do that. This guy is just, I don't know. I feel like he knows how the world works. He's just trying to be ignorant on purpose. I don't understand. But yeah, everything's expensive. The world's come to shit. Everything will be poor. I mean, everything will be cheaper pretty soon. With, you know, people are gonna lose their jobs pretty soon. People that bought houses and are renting out Airbnb that are making a killing before, they're gonna lose their homes because no one's gonna go to Airbnb. Honestly, Airbnbs are now like more expensive than hotels, and it's annoying because you have to pay a cleaning fee. You have to do their dishes, and you have to still pay the cleaning fee, which is insane. So Airbnb, people that runs Airbnb are probably going to lose a ton of money unless they drop the prices down, which I see is going to be great for the rest of us that have money to spend. But I feel for people losing their homes. I feel for people that are going to lose their jobs. Like, it's coming. Like, I don't have a magic 8-ball, but that's just where it goes. Like, inflation is super high. The Fed is raising interest rates, so now it's hard for big companies to borrow money, so they're going to have to cut costs somehow soon, and it's going to be laying people off, and it's going to be a vicious cycle, right? They lay people off, people can't buy shit, they have more lay people off, people start to lose their Airbnbs, these landlords are going to start losing their homes, and then property is going to come down, and then rent's going to probably follow and come down because people don't want to lose their homes, so they got to lower the rent. And maybe then, if you're a renter now, you could probably maybe save some money so you could buy a house when the prices come down more. But who knows? Who knows? In the meantime, you could just spend your money and buy an adult Happy Meal from McDonald's because, you know, even though houses are expensive, insurance or health insurance expensive, you could still get a $6 meal from McDonald's or $10. I don't know. I didn't buy it. $10 and you get a little toy. So do that. Just do that, everyone. Do that. All right. This is a solo podcast. This is about 34 minutes in. I think I'm going to end it today. It's a little bit shorter. I know I went on a rant. I thought I had more stuff to say, but I don't. I had a show recently on October 14th. Thank you for everyone that came out. Thank you for the comics that showed up. Did your set. I'm glad to be able to give you guys $10 for your time. But yeah, my next show is coming up. It's going to be on November 11th in San Francisco. Please come out, support me and all the other comics. Links below. Follow, hit subscribe, everything. Blah, 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 blah. Love you. Bye-bye.